Hello, I'm Andrew Dyer, and welcome to another edition of the Roundball Report, the only show in the area dedicated to highlighting the experts of the high school, college, and professional basketball teams which play in the Washington metropolitan area. And here with me again is my co-host for the second consecutive week, former Sidwell Friends and Duke University star, Janae Hayes. You left scars on the other opposing post players in your career. Janae Hayes. Janae, talking about scars, Lance Stevenson, you know, he blew in LeBron's ear, but LeBron and the Heat blew them away in Game 7. They did,
but I like the kid, though.
And you like his spunk?
I do. I absolutely like his spunk, and I like his perseverance. And speaking of perseverance, we're joined in studio by Earl Jackson, who is the author of this book, A Spirit of Perseverance. And welcome, Earl, to the Roundball Report.
Thanks for having me.
And I won't lie, I haven't had an opportunity to read the book, but I did do a little background information, or background, not check because you're not a criminal, but research, and I saw that you had suffered an injury that you thought might have taken you out of your senior year, and you've had to persevere through a couple of questionable events in your life to propel you to the point that you are now, which is a professional basketball player in France. Is that what kind of sparked this? Maybe not the injury per se, but what events in your life sparked, if you will, the title?
The title came from when I finished writing the book. I never thought of a title for the book, but after I wrote the book, I read it and just kept reading it, and then that's what came to my head was A Spirit of Perseverance, because the title is just a part of everything that I've been through as far as overcoming adversity, through family telling me I can't, some coaches telling me what I can and can't do, and some friends that I thought were friends that were telling me things that I can and cannot do.
And Earl, it's just really impressive to be, I mean, you just graduated in 2011, you're playing overseas and have already written kind of an autobiographical book of this stage of your life, but talk about what motivated you and what lessons you want to try to give to those coming behind you to try to accomplish your objectives.
What motivated me is one day I may wake up and say I don't want to play basketball anymore. I love it to death now, but you know, your body won't be able to compete at a high level forever. And I'm the type of person, I don't like taking orders, so I don't really want to work a 9 to 5 anytime soon. So a teammate of mine, Jerry Hollis, he plays in Iceland. We decided to tell our stories and see where that can take us in the long run.
Now, a lot of it's commendable to see that you have gone to plan B, although plan A isn't exhausted. You're from this area, so you see a lot of players just put everything into basketball, and they don't have a makeshift plan if basketball never pans out. How did you, I mean, why a book? Why did you come to a book? Are you creative? Do you like writing? Was English your major?
I like motivation. I don't know if you heard of Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker, the hip-hop preacher, Eric Thomas. He has a lot of things on YouTube, so I really look up to him, and I actually have motivational videos also on YouTube, and I have done a couple career days, so I go and I try to motivate kids, and even when I'm out, if I see a kid that looks like he likes to play sports or whatever, I'll talk to him and just see where his head is. And I'll let him know that it's not easy, but you can still do it. Don't let nobody talk you down, because I was that kid that, you know, someone would talk down to, but I still got my help, but I still had to persevere and overcome, you know, the odds. So I believe, you know, that you can get through anything if you have the right support system.
And Earl, we were talking a little bit in the back, and we was talking about how you just said you had to come from humble beginnings. You played with some superstars, but you were never that guy that was tagged. So talk about how that helped you evolve in that work ethic to just turn negatives into positive motivation.
Well, in high school, I had injured my ankle, you know, at the beginning of the season, and my mother had took me to the doctor, and he was pretty much saying I might not be able to play, you know, for my senior year. So I knew not being able to play for maybe my senior year, that means college was out the window as far as basketball. So I vowed that if I had the chance to come back, that I would not take it for granted. And I just had some good friends along the way, you know, to help me get through, you know, when the coaches got on me, or when I had some family members get on me, or some, like I said, some so-called friends get on me. And you just have to really set aside a focus for yourself, and you have to go the extra mile. So that's what I did.
And in your overseas career, what have you learned, or during that period, because I believe you said that you started this in September
Yes,
of
the book in
2013.
September.
I think it took you about 5 months to
Yes.
complete. What did you learn, and of the lessons that you learned, are they included in this book?
Yes, time management. Like, you have a lot of time overseas, and you talk to your family on Skype or FaceTime or however it may be, and they tell you things that are going with them, and you can't do but so much from a distance. So to keep yourself from losing your mind sometimes, you have to put your focus somewhere in a positive manner. So I started writing a book, and 5 months later, it was ready. And I really couldn't believe, I still am in a little shock myself to this day that I wrote a book.
And you had to laugh like somebody who knows a little bit about playing overseas, Janae.
Yeah, I remember, and I remember sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I slept, then I'd do extra running, then I'd read a little bit, but I never became an accomplished author. And that has to give you a sense of pride and another sense of accomplishment, because through your trials and your tribulations, one, you defeated the odds and played professionally. Then you became a young black author that's defeating another odd. What's next in your line of successes?
Actually, I'm working on another book. The title, I haven't really got to it yet, but I want it to be based on how to become successful. I know it's a lot of how-to books out, but I don't think anyone, like you said, young as my age, has been able to put that type of thing out. Also, I want to start up a nonprofit. It's going to be kind of hard with me, trying to go back overseas next year with 10 months, but I'm trying to gather up some people that I can trust and still make that happen, because I still think that I can make it happen from a distance.
And it's just really impressive, Janae, and I'm sure you and I can relate. Is people can hear messages from people like us, that more so me than Janae, that were their age, but they really can't relate because we look more like their parents. But it's so much more powerful to hear from someone that they can relate to, grew up in their generation. And do you find that your message that speaking to the kids that grew up walking in your shoes not that long ago, is that really the audience that you're seeking to try to attack?
At first it was just kids, but now that people are reading my book, I'm getting feedback from everyone. I go out sometimes and I have someone say, "Hey man, I read your book," like, I'm reading your book, like it's a good read. So at first I really do want to reach the kids to let them know that you can overcome, but it's been touching some adults. I have some family members that have read the book and told me like, "Wow, I didn't know you went through what you went through, and you gave me a whole new motivation." I had a friend that I went to college with that said she's on her second time of reading the book. So I think it's touching a lot of people more than what I anticipated.
Now, when you do go on a venture of writing a book, and your first love is obviously basketball, but as you accumulate more success with this, do you think that it may cut your basketball career short, not because anything's wrong, but because your attention is elsewhere and maybe your heart is elsewhere at that point?
Well, that's something we'll have to see further down the line. Like, I love basketball, and basketball led me to write this book. So, I can't abandon what got me to this point.
And Earl, one of the things we're talking about, you learned, and I can definitely relate to how anybody, because life lessons that you have learned to overcome and persevere through tough times are things that people of all ages haven't been able to accomplish. So talk about the perspective of you were sharing, that you're preparing for that time when either it's taken from you or you've decided to move on, and you're already planning for that next career in your entrepreneurial endeavors.
Yes, I'm planning for it. Like I said, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and say, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, I actually felt that way this morning. I was like, I don't want to work out today. But it's reality. Like, someday that ball will stop. It's kind of scary, but with the book, it's not as scary as it could be, because at any point in time I can put the ball down and really focus on the book and mentoring kids and my nonprofit that I would like to start soon.
Now I want to go back a little bit before you decided, because I think you kind of decided on a whim to write a book because you had so much free time. What had you thought about a plan B after basketball, or did you kind of naively think, oh, I'm going to play forever and then this is going to happen, that's going to happen? How did that process go when you were, I don't know, 21, 22?
The crazy thing is, after I got out of college, I didn't have a contract right away. I had to go on a tour team to Peru, and I had talked to my mom about it, and she was just saying, if that's what you really want to do, go ahead and do it. So I had the opportunity of getting a job for the National Credit Union Administration of Virginia, working on computers in my major. And I did that for a couple of weeks, and I couldn't do it. 6 computers in my face all day. The money was good, but it was just like, I'd rather be happy than with a lot of money. Like this won't make me happy. I hated what I was doing, so I went on that tour and I made the best of it, and I got a contract. So I think I'm just gonna ride basketball out, until the wheels fall off, but I'll still continue writing and motivating and talking to kids.
And talk about what you shared with me, how your college teammate, who was a star of the team, kind of served as a motivator for you to carry and aspire to your goals in college, and how you guys had a common path to try to write your own books.
Yes, Jerry Hollis. We're each other's backbone. I came out in 2011. He finished in 2010. It actually took him 2 years to get overseas, and it took me 1 year. But through college, he was the guy I would talk to. He was the captain of the team, and he was the leader, points, rebounds, and everything. And he would just motivate me. I was the guy that always put the extra work in, and sometimes I wouldn't get the feedback that I would like to from my coach. So he was that guy to tell me, keep doing it. Like, it's not going unnoticed. And I think where I'm at now, that the hard work hasn't went unnoticed. So we're just each other's backbone in every aspect.
Well, we've certainly noticed it. And tell folks about where they can get a hold of this book as we wrap up.
Okay, you can get the book on Amazon.com, A Spirit of Perseverance. And I also have copies with me, my email, earljackson2@gmail.com.
Well, Earl, we want to give a shout out to your mom for being your backbone as well.
My mother, she's here, back there. My backbone, my mom, big time support system, and my stepfather, who's also here with me.
All right, young man, we're extremely proud of you. Wish you much success in your professional basketball endeavors, and good luck with the book. And definitely keep in touch, man, because it's great to see positive examples like yourself. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right.